applied to get into the director. I did attend, by the way. But the Directors Guild of Canada program to be a set PA, and I am going to have steady, secure income. I'm going to be trained as a set PA, which will, and eventually maybe I'll be a first AD. I'm going to remind you of something. I may be one of the inspirations why you have Canadian contestants in the first place, because I was a Canadian citizen living in the US applying to be on Survivor before Canadians could be on Survivor. And so, but it did make me a little sad, because it's like when I was at the RHAP event and I finally got to meet Rob's sister Nino, who had been pestering with emails for the past 10 years, and he knew who I was. That was so crazy. When I introduced myself to Rob, he goes, "Yeah, you're Alexander from the emails." How do you know? And I told him, "You walked on this sand in All-Stars. You walked on this sand." If you had cast me on Survivor like years ago, when you were allowed to cast Canadian-born citizens, I would be safe. And if I'm cast on Survivor, and I really felt that when I was at RHAP in April, like I look at these people, people come up to them, they're on the show, they're safe, they're part of the community. And I'm not safe. And I want to be safe. And there's some things that you don't realize, such as I have not seen my family since 1999. And because I was in the United States, then I was in Latin America, and I've been back in Canada for 3 years, but I haven't been able to afford it. I mean, being cast in Survivor, you do well, it can lead to employment. The money I would make, even if it was first boot, is probably more money than I ever had in my bank account in my life, so and that it doesn't count like when I was married to an American citizen, because even though I was doing the work, everything was in her name. I need to be calling for commercial work, and I'm just going to say this in a therapeutic way, but I'm finding it hard to make my phone calls to get work, because I don't like being rejected. I've been rejected in more ways than most people have. You've never been told in your entire life that you don't get to drive a car. You don't get to learn how to drive. Oh, you're not, has been rejected compared to blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you don't know my life. Like, I've been in immigration limbo. That means you're not allowed to have ID. That means you're not allowed to learn how to drive. That means you're not even allowed to buy alcohol. Things that really affect your psyche and your self-confidence over time, especially if it goes on for decades and you're watching other people doing normal things. And so it's like, it's hard for me to call for commercial work, because I'll just hear, "Well, you don't know how to drive. You got to learn how to drive to get work. You got to be able to drive a cube." And you just have to put up with that until you hear somebody, "Yeah, we'll have room for you. There's a place for you." And so that's why I got into the DGC Set PA program, because I could work. That I could be trained and have consistent work, and I don't have to worry about driving. And then that fucking spoiled brat writers who have swimming pools and can fly on the plane when they want to and have an opportunity. I'm a writer, but my stuff isn't published. And, and it's like, okay, I feel empathetic for you that you're going to be replaced by AI, but also you're causing people like me who really need to work to survive. You don't give a fuck about us, you spoiled brat fuck. And it's just, I don't know. It's hard to be a person of love a lot of times. It's when I talk like this, it doesn't mean that I'm not a person of love. I'm just very frustrated. I want to be a citizen of the world. I want to see this beautiful world. I want to be a lover of this world.
And I always feel like I'm in situations where I have to watch other people. Watch other people get on Survivor. Watch all other people go to Spain. Watch other people, and I fight that. I fight that energy tooth and nail. I fight it tooth and nail so I can be the one. I was born not to watch others. I was born to live. I try to live the best free life regardless of limitation. Other people might put limitations on me, but I try not to put limitations on myself.